Or you, man, go for it.
Okay, we have the winner of last game with a nice marine push coming in, Fusion Slugs Kez, and the blue Terran in the top left. Down in the bottom right we have our red Terran representing mGG. We have mGG Stealth. We have a bit of a camera view on Stealth, that would be helpful.
Yeah, sorry, I was just updating the scoreboard.
Stealth.
I just realised for that whole last series I had Dr. Goose as a Terran, so it's a little bit awkward, but oh well, I think you all realised pretty quickly he was a zerg, so it doesn't really matter.
People will start fighting the game saying, no, he may look like zerg, but the scoreboard says Terran.
Yeah. So, what do we reckon? I think we'll see a pretty similar build, either a 1-Rax expand again, or straight command center from both players.
I was just about to say Stealth goes and puts down his gas, but Stealth loves doing Banshee openers in pretty much any matchup. So it wouldn't be too surprised what we're about to see from him.
Well, I was completely wrong then, wasn't I? But no, it's good. It's good to see something different. It'll spice things up a little bit. We do see...
Curious to see what Kez's scouting time will be if he'll notice. He'll get there in time to notice that this is actually a gas first, instead of just a sort of racks into gas.
Yeah, I would like to see Stealth throw down that depot and complete that wall off. I mean, he's got plenty of time to do it, but if he can do that before the SCV gets there for Kez, he'll be able to block all that scouting, and if Kez really wants to know what's going on.
Like he's sending over a SCV now, so hopefully that will drop the depot, or is it just going straight over
That's scouting.
Scout. But at least he is doing it, early scout so far. Kez only sending a scout now, so by the time that scout gets over, the barracks will be finished. Oh wait, it's not. Oh, it's doing a proxy scout first, and he's even going to check the third and the fourth before he goes over. So Stealth should have plenty of time to be able to get a marine up to deny any sort of scouting by that point.
This could be pretty brutal actually for Kez if he can't see that coming and doesn't use a scan.
Yeah, so far looking like Kez is going for that 1-Rax gasless expand, which Stealth did check for, and he may see the SCV heading in that direction, and it looks like he's going to try and get that gas count. He sees one gas wasn't there, but he didn't get vision of the other gas, so he can't be sure what's coming, but definitely build orders are favouring Stealth at the moment.
Yeah, he is throwing down that factory now, it's almost done, and he has finished that wall off while the command center has just started now for Kez. I mean, this is brutal for Kez at this point. He can't tell when he gets to the top of that ramp that it was gas first. In fact, well, he doesn't even know if there's gas up, but if he assumes there is, he doesn't know that it was gas first.
So he did see that there was no command center down at the expansion yet, but he, Stealth could just be playing safe and building command center inside the main. So hopefully Kez will react in a safe sort of way, maybe getting up. Probably, let's go to eBay, will be the best at this point, because still got no gas, won't be able to get a Viking up in time. But we'll have to see how Kez does react to what he's scouted so far, which isn't very much at all.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's going to come down to this game, I think. We do see a gas going now for Kez now, and a couple of extra barracks, but...
We do see a Hellion being built from the factory instead of a tech lab being put down, so this might be a Hellion drop or something. Yeah, it's looking like an early Hellion drop instead of Banshees even.
See, I think Banshees could have been a lot more effective here. Even if they don't do too much damage without scans and no missile turrets.
With the way the build orders worked out, probably would have been a lot more powerful with the Banshees, but you can never count out Hellion drops and how much damage they can do.
That is true. That is very true. I mean, still no missile turrets, obviously, so that many can go and drop pretty much wherever it wants.
I love that if you see Stealth's got both towers under his control before he sends out this drop. Tried to save one of the Marines with a bit of micro, but did end up losing it. But did hold the watchtower with 2 Marines still alive as the drop moves out.
I think a lot of players do actually underestimate the power of the watchtowers, and the amount of, like, just the ability to see what's coming. It's
I
just...
find it amazing the amount of times where I'm holding a tower and they fly a drop straight past it.
Yep.
And they don't even take... Okay, so it looks like... So this I'm a bit worried about how much this is going to work. He's going to be dropping the Marines into the base and then maybe trying an elevator up the Hellions. If he decides to do this, he should at least lift those 2 Hellions into the dropship first, which he could have done to save a trip. If he can get these Hellions dropped in well, then they'll be able to tear up these Marines. Look at the way they're all lining up at the moment. So this can do a lot of damage. Nice bit of micro, keeping those Hellions alive and safe as he runs into the mineral line. And not very many Marines left. Who cares? We have to see how well he reacts behind this. He's getting Marauders. And wow, look at that position. Great position for stealth as they all line up. They're all so weak on health.
Really nice micro as well. He's pulling them back. This has done a lot of damage.
Yep, definitely. Even just the Marine count being low at that much. Stealth has built a command zone, is building command zone at home. One of the problems that Stealth does commonly have is that he pretty much always builds the command center in his main instead of the natural, like always preferring to be that extra safe style.
I think the real problem he's got at the moment is that while that did a lot of damage, he's really far behind as far as economy goes. If he'd thrown that command center down at the very, very start of that push, it'd already be done by now, and he could get it down there, and he could, go into an even game. But at this point, he's still behind.
Yeah, basically all that really did was even up the advantage that Kez has had so far, but at the same time, Kez will be able to get the lead going again with his double command centers already being finished. Double orbitals even being finished, so... Nice bit of control by Stealth and good damage done, but not quite enough for how late his natural's going to be.
We do see more racks coming down for Kez as well as that factory. It's about half done. Meanwhile for Stealth, he's got the siege tank production started. Still no siege tech upgrade yet, but that's not a bad thing. And that command center is going to land at the natural, so he's going to be able to start mining, turn that into an orbital. But he is still 7 harvesters behind, and that natural of Kez has been going for a while.
Yeah, just looking at the supply count, 62 to Kez to 51 for Stealth. Stim's about to finish, so... Well, oh no, it's not about to finish. It's about a third of the way through, while Stealth has just begun. Quick lag spike, but
yeah.
Stealth seems to be okay.
I thought that was me for a second. I was like, oh no. But I'm all good. We're still here.
Stealth's #1 advantage at the moment is the siege tanks, but he really needs to get that siege upgraded starting, which he hasn't yet.
We do see Stim on the way for both players, but Kez is slightly ahead. If he can get to, as somebody just said in chat, he can get to Stealth's base as Stim finishes, he might be able to actually just win because he doesn't have that siege tech upgrade. If he has siege tech by that point, he'll be able to hold it quite comfortably, but without siege tech, those tanks aren't going to be very useful.
Yeah, I'm starting to worry if he's forgotten the siege tank. Something like even I love set something they're important. I think you need to get that siege tank up ASAP though right now. So getting that siege before the sensor tower definitely would have been a good move.
I agree, 100%. I think you might be right that he might have just forgotten. He's got 3 tanks now, 4th one on the way. But without that siege tech, they're going to be almost useless against his bio army.
And looks like he's moving out, so yeah, I really do think he has forgotten about it, which is rather scary. He is going to go try for a drop though, and there's one drop, one missile turret at the side of Kez's base and one up at the very back of it. So that'll be good for Kez, but without siege, he's going to just get slaughtered at the moment.
Yep.
In any sort of engagement, which is looking like it's about to happen.
Sending that Hellion out in front to see the watchtower, so Stealth has seen this coming, and here's the Stim. Can he pick up these tanks? He's going to be able to pick them off with that concussive shells, I think.
As soon as the army moves in,
it's not quite done.
Stealth begins his siege upgrade, so he definitely forgot it and only just realised then.
He only, at the same time, sorry to interrupt, Kez is pushing up, but at the same time we don't have a drop from Stealth, it's just a medivac full of units sitting there. There it goes. It almost died to that missile tower, but I think Kez is going to be able to win this. As we said, that Stim timing and without siege tech, just too much.
SCV is being pulled, but great positioning by Kez on the ramp. really making that narrow choke, but all units have so low health, so Stealth will be able to hold this, but so much damage has been done. And it's not like he has big bank or anything left home.
No, at the same time, that drop did actually do a little bit of damage. If we look at the workers killed, it's 2 in favour of Stealth, but it didn't do enough to keep him in this game. I mean, he's lost his natural. He's going to have to rebuild the command centre from scratch.
Which you just can't afford.
No.
That's really disappointing that I forgot that siege tank. That siege tank, because if he had that, that battle would have been so different.
Oh, it would have. I mean, now he's just almost... He's almost dead, basically. He's 22 SCVs behind. He's got less army. He's down by 40 supply. He's in a world of trouble at the moment.
There's no real way that he can like double expand or anything to try and get back into it.
No, he doesn't have the bank. And we do see that tank is going to get sniped as well. So there goes another tank. Kerr is just in complete control, flanking the Marine army, and he is just going to be able to walk in and win, I think.
This will be GG very soon. One thing you have to know about Stealth when he plays is that he always fights to the last man. He's one of those never give up type players.
And there is nothing wrong with that. It's good to see.
He'll fight for as long as he can, but
pulling his SCVs here to buffer, but
shouldn't be lasting too much longer.
No. Kerr's playing really quite well despite not seeing that gas first build from Stealth. I think if he'd gone Banshees, it might have been able to do a little bit more damage and it could have kept him in the game, but unfortunately there's the GG and Kez takes the game for Fusion Slugs.
Okay, starting up in the top left, we have our Red Terran from Fusion Slugs winning the last 2 games over Dr. Goose and mGG Stealth. We have Fusion Slugs Kez. Applause now. And starting in the bottom right, we have mGG's blue Terran player, the Platinum Terran, Nice Liquid. Bit of banter going on between the two of them at the moment, with Liquid saying that there is absolutely no fun allowed. It's all damn serious business. Hope he's got his serious boss face on.
Team leagues, mate, serious business. So, it'll be interesting to see if we see another macro game or we see that sort of more aggressive style that we saw from Stealth last game that he didn't quite manage to pull off, but he did do a pretty good job of it.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of Liquid's TVT, but I used to do a lot of TVP practice with him, and I know he's pretty damn strong. I played with him when I was in Diamond, and he was in Plat, and when I was in Masters, and he used to regularly take games off me, so he's definitely a strong player. I don't know how his TVT goes, but he's got some impressive TVP behind him.
Looking forward to a high quality game then, hopefully. We do see almost identical builds so far from both players. It's just slight timing differences, but very, very slight. Kez throwing down that really early second depot.
Yeah, he's done that both games at the moment, and it's interesting that he's choosing to do that, but not any sort of block with it.
Yeah, I must admit, I just thought it was odd.
I guess it's one of those things, if you don't need the money anywhere else at that certain point in time, you know, why not? Just get it out of the way.
I think the reason he's doing it is to try and squeeze out that extra SCB before the orbital. Whereas Nice Liquid has just gone straight for the orbital and put the depot down a little bit later.
Well, Liquid's got his wall up at the ramp and he's going for a gasless expand. I'm surprised by the number of gasless expands in TVT. I really didn't think it would be this common. But we've seen at least one player do it every game so far, if not both players. He's looking like Kez is going to do it once again.
Nice micro there from Kez.
Yeah, nice denying of that scout that did get in the base, but didn't really get to see anything too important. Didn't see the gas counts, only saw the very edge of one barracks. So we did see that there's no tech labs or reactors building, but that's about it. So even then it would be a pretty big assumption if it's just going to be blindly assuming. But on the other hand, Kez gets a nice scout off. Does confirm the expansion. I really do like the timing of Kez's scouts, that he's coming in at the time where he can get past those 2 or 3 Marines that are up and just check that natural.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if he sees that command center, he can pretty much, base the assumption that it's a one Rax gasless expand, um, just based on the fact that it's almost identical timing to his. So, if nothing else, but yeah, really nice scout timing.
If you have a look at his scouting path, like going to his vision again, he's really good at checking this third and fourth, making sure that no little shenanigans of proxies are going to be happening to him in the common proxy spots.
Yeah, I mean that's it's quite an important thing for all races really, and against all races, with the exception of maybe playing against Zerg, to check those extra little hidey holes where people like to hide things. I know if you ask Helly, my normal co-caster, I have raged a lot about being cannon rushed at my third and my natural by hiding cannons in that little shadow bit over here. So it's good to see the players checking those little hidey holes to make sure nothing's up, nothing funny's going on.
Yeah, definitely. Like last game was looking like it might hurt him because so it was opening with that gas first thing, but if it's not any sort of like gas first shenanigan, then that extra bit of time that it takes to get across for the scout is definitely worth it to be able to see fully and be safe from all that.
Yeah, we do see 2 tech labs going down on those barracks for Nice Liquid, so he has started that stim upgrade.
A factory has been started a fair bit earlier for Kez, as Liquid's has just been started.
Yeah.
Kez is about to finish, so as stim will finish up quicker for Liquid, tanks will be coming out quicker for Kez. It's a bit of a trade-off on the tech on that.
As long as Kez remembers to get his siege tank upgrade, and we won't see a repeat of last game where Stealth unfortunately missed out on that one.
Yep.
We do see a little bit of a supply block here for Nice Liquid though, that's unfortunate. He does have 2 depots finishing up now.
2 depots finishing and a supply drop, so his supply will go right up. There we go, up to Sunny. So he gets his eBay started, and I think Kez has just finished his eBay, yep. But nothing being researched from it just yet, and just as I say that, the +1 starts.
Starports, Kez has just finished and he's swapping it onto the reactor. Nice Liquids is about half done, it's on its way. We do see the reactor going down on his factory, so he will switch that over.
One of those games where, 8 minutes 30 into the game and they're pretty even, Kez starting to take a bit of a supply lead, all within 5 supply of each other throughout the entire game.
Yeah, Kez is favouring that sort of bio-heavy build again. He's sending that factory out. It's going to try and see what I can see, but doesn't mean he is committing to that bio play. He won't be getting those tanks. So the fact that Liquid's factory was slightly later is not going to be that big of a deal, I don't think.
Yeah, the only slight difference in that then is the first 2 medivacs will be out first. Kez.
We do see +1 on the way for both players with Nice Liquid slightly behind, but not too much. Kez is researching that stim pack, which is already finished for Nice Liquid.
Yeah, this is looking like really well timed attack and really scary because the stim and +1 will be finishing pretty close to when he arrives. But once again, that great vision of the tower means that Liquid does see this coming, and he does have that stim advantage for now if he's going to use it, but he decides to pull back instead of stimming, and it's definitely hurting him for it. Now he's used that stim and he won't be able to take full advantage of it. Medivac's being caught out in the open, but he kills some STVs.
They're trying to repair the bunker.
He just get there in time, so he's able to hold that grade, and if he sits up, should be able to take out there he goes, taking out one of the Medivacs.
That was a nice SCV pull there.
Yeah, definitely.
I was a little bit worried for a second there when he decided not to stim and was just walking those slow Marines back up the ramp and they were getting picked off, but...
Definitely walked into the concave, just stood there for a bit, and then walked back and then stimmed as he was running away, so I thought Liquid was going to be in a lot of trouble there, but Kez decided to try and chase him up that ramp, and Liquid just managed to pull off the repair on that bunker in time.
We do see another command center finishing up now for Kez. He does have 6 SCV lead over his opponent, but he is a little bit behind in terms of army. We do see that third command center going down for Liquid, but Kez will get his up considerably earlier.
And the first siege tanks have been started for Liquid. He has finished researching Siege already. So
Another supply block though, unfortunately, for Liquid. He's going to have to get those depots building.
yeah, really needs to keep an eye on his supply a bit better, because he's getting all these nice little leads on Kez, and then he supplies block and Kez takes ahead. So
yeah, it's some of the problems that most lower level players have is constant supply production and constant SCV production, and if you can do both of those things, you can pretty much cruise up to sort of diamond level.
yeah, well, talking on the SCV production, if we have a look at the unit count, Kez is up to a 66, while Liquid's only up to 56, and only 2 workers have been killed by Kez and only 1 by Liquid. So that huge difference in the SCV supply count at the moment is just purely due to production. But at the same time, that's a 10 worker difference, and Liquid has a 10 supply difference already. So that means he's got a really nice heavy army supply. If you have a look at the army supply at the moment, 56 to Kez, 72 to Liquid, as they're looking like it's getting ready to engage for nice.
Oh, those medivacs! Those medivacs!
Taking out 2 drop, 3 drop, 4 drop. All 5 medivacs just dropped, and Liquid is out of there. That is a great play by Liquid as he takes all the medivacs down, dropping the number down to only 2 from Kez.
Big miss micro there by Kez. I really think he probably would have had a hard time engaging there anyway, just because of the tanks. But yeah, that is brutal.
Yeah, that was a great play by Liquid and a big mistake by Kez.
Luckily for Kez though, if we look at the income tab, his mineral income is like almost 700, or is sitting constantly above 600, more than his opponent. It's starting to even out now, but
yeah, at the same time, Liquid has caught up in that huge worker supply during that time of that one battle. So it looks like Kez has been dropping his worker production throughout that battle, and Liquid's been keeping it up. So with the mules, they're both in 3 bases, so their economy should even up pretty well now.
Yeah, we do see
a oversaturation in his main, so he definitely has to move across down to his 3rd.
We do see an upgrades advantage for our red Terran player Kez here. He has that +1 armor, although as I say that, yeah, nice Liquid's +1 has finished, but it does mean that Kez will get his +2 slightly earlier. That 2 weapons is about to finish up for Kez with nice Liquid still only about half done.
Yeah, it's looking like Kez is about to position himself to go into a fight, which something I'm really liking about Kez is that he's keeping an eye on his upgrades, and he's getting ready to fight the moment he's got that upgrade advantage. His stem, he attacked just as his stem was about to finish. Now he's attacking just as his +2 finishes. But he's running into the line of the siege tank, but it is a bit out in the open. And Liquid not reacting properly with half his units, not fighting. There are 2 siege tanks in the fight, making a huge difference. And Liquid just running his unit.
I honestly think Liquid just played that really quite well, apart from that little miss micro where he had his Marines just standing there.
Big uses to what Liquid was doing there. He just seemed to move his units in without attack moving, but then he got a perfect surround and concave and he just slaughtered them.
He did lose that command center at his 3rd though, and he's going to have to rebuild that. But at the same time, he was floating quite a large bank, so he's going to be able to reproduce a large number of units even if this attack fails.
Yeah, and he is taking advantage of the momentum he's got with that. He's got 3 tanks coming up with this push and a huge number of Marines. 2-2's about to finish. And siege tanks are being sieged up.
And Kez's units are just running into a meat grinder there. They're trying to snipe the tanks at the back.
Yeah,
but
bad idea trying to snipe with that many Marines just blocking the way. So it's looking like with this momentum, Liquid should be able to push up. He's pulling Marines now, and they're just getting slaughtered by the time they reach the Marines. You just got liquidated.
Bit of trash talk. Nice play here from Liquid. I think the siege tanks really made the difference.
Yeah, definitely. Those siege tanks fight.
It's always tough for the bio player.